Hi guys, it's Christina from Redefine Creative, and I am back with my last project for February for the Wild Whisper design team. And so today I wanted to do a little bit of something different. So I grabbed this older paper from the Rooted Love collection, and then I have all of these different pattern papers that I'm using, and they came from a couple of different collections, but most of them are from the new Classic Woodgrains. And so what I wanted to do is create my own kind of hand-drawn or hand-created element for this page. So I went ahead and just freehand drew a tree limb. And there you can see I'm putting dimensional adhesive on like all of the major branches, and then just regular adhesive on the tiny parts on the ends. And then I just took some scissors and cut out some little leaves. And so they aren't perfect and they're not detailed, like they're not exact and nothing like that. And I just used all of those different pattern papers. So from the Classic Woodgrains collection, there was a bunch of different pattern papers that had kind of green, gray, blue color palette. And then I also filled in with a couple of scraps from other collections like the More Adventures and the Original Adventures collection. And I'm just going to make a whole bunch of leaves to go on my tree branch that's going to span across the entire top of my layout. And so I have this 3x4 photo of my two boys that I wanted to use because I really liked the idea of pairing up that photo with the 3x4 quote card from the More Adventures pack that just says, "In a gentle way, you can shake the world." And we kind of, in my family or with the boys, we talk to them often, all my kids really, about the fact that they're going to do something extraordinary and that they're going to somehow change the world. And so this seemed to be really fitting for this adorable photo I have of my two boys out in the wilderness. And so I wanted it to have that strong outdoorsy feel. And all of these papers were just, they're perfect for creating layouts like that. And so along the bottom of my page, I decided I wanted to stack up just some strips of these different pattern papers. And I am going to make them a little bit like kind of zigzag, so they're a little bit wonky. And then I wanted to use this 4x6 card that says Built for Adventure, along with the 3x4 card, and then this little 2x2 square that just says Find Your Wild. And then I have the 3x4 black and white photo of my two boys. And so those things are all going to kind of get stacked up down here on the bottom of this layout. So I'm going to go ahead and take some time here and get my pattern papers all glued down so that they are on that kind of diagonal pattern. And then that strip's going to go just along the bottom of that layout. And then I'm just going to stack up kind of where I want everything else to go. I am going to put that Find Your Wild on some dimensional adhesive, so it is going to stand up off the page. And I spend what I think is like a crazy amount of time trying to get these like 4 elements here exactly where I want them to go. And so I move them and I adjust them, and it's like a centimeter here and a centimeter here, and finally, eventually, I'm like, I'm just gonna glue them down. So I end up putting that dimensional adhesive on the back of this one and just kind of creating all these different clusters within those layers of pattern paper at the bottom of the page. And that really is going to be the foundation of this layout. But I did want to add a couple of little other details just to kind of make it a little bit more interesting. And so I pulled out some goodies that I bought from my Mind's Eye's new Wander collection. And they had a couple of little puffy sticker trees, and I thought those added a really cute detail. And then I also found this word that says adventure, and I tried to get that in there, but then I decided that it was too much because the card already has the title Built for Adventure. And so then I went to the ephemera pack that came from that same Wander collection and grabbed a couple of the little trees, and I'm going to kind of tuck those in behind all of my little cards here. And that is good because it adds just a little bit of a different shape. So everything else on the bottom of the layout was very like square and rectangular. So adding those 3 clusters of trees kind of gave it an element that matched more with the top where I have some different angles. And it broke up the monotony of all those squares and rectangles at the bottom. So I'm really wanting that element I created at the top of the page to kind of be the focus along with what I'm creating at the bottom. So I don't want to do anything that's going to take away from that element, because the focus of this layout for me was really creating that handmade element at the top. And that's also going to be your challenge this week. So as part of Wild Whisper, it has just kind of worked out that in each post I do, I'm challenging you to try something a little bit different. And so this week I am challenging you to create some sort of handmade or hand-created element that you are going to use on your page. So for me, it was creating that tree branch with all of those gorgeous leaves. And so I want you to try creating something handmade to go on one of your pages this week as well. And that's basically going to do it for this layout. So I have had a blast creating with Wild Whisper Designs this month. On the design team, we do create every other month. So I will not be up in March, but I will be back in April with a bunch more projects. And I will see you again soon. Bye!